as Black women, we always have to have our stuff together. There could never be an off day. There could never be an off moment. There could never be an off anything. You have to prove that you're not the angry Black woman. You have to prove that you are worthy of love. You have to prove that you are worthy of care and fragility and kindness and gentleness from other people. So we feel this pressure to always be magical. You are magical in just your existence. You are excellent in just your existence. You don't have to do anything, say anything, be anything special in order to be worthy of goodness and kindness and care and love and protection. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Soda2, aka Bint Fatima. If you're new around here, hi, hello, welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. And if you're returning, thank you so much for subscribing. And as I'm talking about subscriptions, might as well just do this now, get it out of the way. So if you're not already, please click on that subscribe button so that way you can be notified. And on the English. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. It's free 99. You don't gotta pay nothing. You don't gotta pay nobody. You could come here for free every single week, twice a week, Mondays and Fridays, and click on the bell notification so that way you can be notified every single time that I post, because sometimes things do change in the schedule because you know, life happens. If you like this video or like any other of my videos, give it a thumbs up so that way YouTube is like, oh, okay, cool, she got good content. And also leave me a comment so that way I can get happy and respond to you guys. And if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram. I'm actually pretty cute on Instagram. I'm not gonna like toot my own horn, but I'm pretty cute. My content is pretty peak, so yeah, do that. Today I initially wanted to talk about because I know I said I was gonna do like a self-love series, and every single last Friday of the week I would just talk about something related to self-love, related to self-compassion, related to just like getting to know yourself, loving yourself, understanding yourself, all that kind of stuff. But this week, because there's just been a lot going on personally in my own life and just in the world in general, I decided to cater my message specifically for Black women. Let's talk about how poppin' we are. Let's talk about how amazing we are. Let's talk about how freaking magical we are, okay? And we're also gonna touch on, like, you know, making sure to take care of yourself, making sure to take a break when you are tired, making sure to just like find balance in this world that seems to just hate on us so good. Like, why they hating? Like, genuinely, actually though, but why? If you're not a Black woman, you're more than free to watch this. Just know that this message is catered specifically to Black women, and that I am not anything that I'm saying, because I feel like a lot of times when people are like pro-Black anything, everybody loves to be like,
oh my God, you're anti everything else because you're pro-Black.
I feel like a lot of times when anybody is pro-Black, everybody just assumes you're anti everything else. So I remember when the Black Lives Matter movement like started, I would see people start doing all lives matter. But okay, everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's not the right opinion. Anyway, but everybody just loves to, and even recently on Instagram, and if I can find the post, I'll post it like up here. But this guy was just talking about like how strong and beautiful and wonderful Black women are, and somebody commented like,
oh, you mean all women?
No, he said Black women. He meant Black women. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that just to say, please, if you are a non-Black person watching this video or subscribe to my channel, don't take this as me being like, leave, get out of my channel, don't ever come back here. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just that I am a Black woman, and so I'm gonna be pro-Black. Like, it comes with the package. It's part of me being a Black person. And so yeah, I just wanted to start with that disclaimer. Don't know if it was necessary or unnecessary, but anyway. Again, like I said, there's been a lot of stuff going on personally, and then a lot of stuff going on in like the lives of the people that I really care about that inspired this video. So be it in terms of love, or be it in terms of just like struggling with everyday life, everyday struggles, mental health, wellness, all that kind of stuff. Like, I just noticed that sometimes I feel like there's this narrative that's pushed that Black women are kind of invincible. And I've kind of touched up on this just a tad bit in my racism in the Muslim community in terms of marriage video. Check it out. I'll put it in the cards up above. But I also have been watching a lot of like pro-Black channels, and they also touch up on this. My favorite pro-Black channel is Am Eloho. She just be spitting straight facts, and I just love her energy, love her vibe. And she was talking about how like a lot of times Black women are not treated with care. They're not treated with kindness. They're not treated with as much fragility as other women are typically treated with.
A lot of times as Black women, a lot of times we're not handled with care because we're not really seen as women. We're seen as these strong, overcoming creatures that could handle anything you throw at her. So you don't really have to check on her. You don't really have to handle her with care because she's not a woman. She's a Black woman. She's strong. She's independent. She don't need nobody, no man, no money, no...
And this is not to say that like all women want to be treated as if they're fragile. I don't know if this makes sense, but I don't know if all women want to be treated with that much care. But I think it's just human decency to treat somebody kindly, to treat somebody with care. Like, it's just human decency. Woman or not a woman, like, treat people caringly, kindly, with delicacy, with gentleness. I feel like when it comes to Black women, though, people kind of have this consensus that Black women are strong on their own. They really don't need anybody to handle them delicately. They really don't need anybody to be kind to them. They really don't need, like, they can deal with anything. You're Black, hello. Come on, you can deal with absolutely everything. I think, like, of course there is this side of things where I will acknowledge the strength of Black women. I will acknowledge the strength of myself as a Black woman, of Black women in general, the Black women I grew up around, the Black women that are my friends, the Black women that I see online, that I see in movies, all this kind of stuff. Like, I will acknowledge the strength of Black women. That's undeniable that Black women are definitely strong. But I think sometimes that word strong can be taken in a negative connotation, because then people take it to mean that you can withstand and handle any disrespect, any oppression, any injustice that people put towards you. You're strong, you can deal with it. So I think that's where the lines kind of get blurred, is that people tend to forget that we're human just like everybody else. And I shared on my story last night, I think this is a book, and if I can find out who the author of the book is, I'll link all that information down below. And I don't think the book has come out yet. It's meant to come out this September, inshallah. And your girl, if I got the money, I definitely want to get it, just because the title in itself just embodied a lot of like my own sentiments. So the title was She's Strong, but She's Tired. And I think that that's kind of like where I am, at least in my journey of self-discovery, my journey of embracing my Blackness, is that because I've become a little bit more aware than I was before. I'm more aware of the racial injustice that exists in the United States. I'm more aware of the unjust criminal system. I'm more aware of all of these imbalances that exist based on race in the United States, in America, and just in the world in general. How disproportionately Black people are impacted by acts of violence, by discrimination, hate crimes, and all of those things, by wrongful incarceration. Black people are disproportionately impacted by that. And because I am at this place where I'm aware, I feel like I'm always angry. I'm always upset. I'm always hurt. I think this was a quote that was given, and I'll try to make sure to find the quote, that was just like, to be Black and even a little bit aware in the United States is to live in a constant state of anger. And I think that, like, of course, I feel like I'm trying to cover so many things all in one breath. So I'm trying really hard to like take my time and remind myself that like I have time. It's okay, inshallah. But I think that like that's kind of the stage that I am in, where I'm just a little bit aware. I wouldn't say I'm extremely aware. Like, I know the history of everything, where I've read every single book there is to read regarding Black history and regarding the Black experience. I cannot say that. And even I myself, having grown up as a first-generation immigrant, I know that there are certain experiences that I cannot relate to, or certain experiences that I do not know, because I've grown up as a first-generation immigrant. And I also know that there are certain privileges that have been given to me because of whatever things came with being a first-generation immigrant. But it doesn't take away from the pain and the anger that I feel when I see other people that look like me, that are my people, when I see my people being mistreated, when I see them being unjustly killed, murdered left, right, and center, when I see them being portrayed still as like the villains and the bad guys, even though we are the ones that are disproportionately killed by like the police, killed by white people. So it's just a lot of emotions that come with that. There's a lot of anger, a lot of exhaustion that comes with it. And I think a lot of times one thing that we don't hear a lot of as Black people is that we're allowed to rest. I think we always feel like we have to be in this constant state of defense, this constant state of not only defending ourselves, but defending our own people, this constant state of being aware, this constant state of knowing everything that's going on, which is important. I think it is important. But I think it's also equally important to balance that with rest, to balance that with healing, to balance that with time where you can withdraw into yourself and just like figure out what it is that you're feeling. After the case with Ahmaud Arbery and when it became popularized on social media and the hashtag was created for justice for Ahmaud, and run with Maud, there was an event that was held by the Black Muslim Coalition, I believe. I'll double check. And it was just on healing. And I think it was called On the Leaves or something like that. And I remember joining that Zoom call. And it was probably like the best thing that I had ever done in a really long time, because we had spending time just like working through whatever emotions it was that we felt regarding the loss of yet another Black life, regarding the exhaustion or the fear or the anger or whatever negative emotions came with that, regarding whatever confusion came with that experience. So we were given a space to acknowledge our emotions, acknowledge our feelings, and then we were given some very insightful words from so many different people of knowledge, doctors, scholars. We were given resources on like the psychological aspects of trauma and what we can read up on to help us like with our healing process or with just existing as a Black person in this very anti-Black world. So I thought that was really, really important. And I think that like spaces like that need to be created. And I'm so happy to see that Black people are creating those spaces for themselves and creating those spaces for their people so that we can heal. So I say all of that. I feel like I went all around the world. But I said all that just to say that existing as a Black person in, like I said, a very anti-Black world is very difficult. It's not an easy thing to navigate. Having to live in a world that's so anti-Black when you are a Black person, when you identify as Black, when you look Black, or when you come from the Black community, you have a Black culture, you have all these things that make you a Black person, that you identify as a Black person living in a very anti-Black world. It's a very, very difficult thing to navigate. And so I specifically wanted to put this video together just to give like a reminder, more to myself, but also to every other Black girl who's watching, again, Muslim or not non-Muslim, because I feel like religion plays a factor, of course. I'm not going to deny like that there's sometimes, Islamophobia or other forms of hate that is given towards different religious groups. But I specifically just want to talk about the experience of being a Black woman, because I think you have two things against you there. You're a woman, so we live in a misogynistic world, whether or not people want to admit it, regardless of how many feminist movements there are. The world is still a very misogynistic place, okay? So we live in a misogynistic world, and then we also live in a very racist, anti-Black world. Regardless of what community you're in, you hear a lot of anti-Blackness. Even in communities where there are no Black people, there's a lot of anti-Blackness in terms of like skin color or colorism and things of that nature. But I just wanted to take a second to just remind us as Black women that, wow, look at you. Like, actually look at yourself. Like, look at the odds that you've beat. Look at the fact that like you are still here existing. And one thing that amazes me the most about Black women that I've seen in so many different situations is that Black women will go through hell and back and still be able to uplift other people. They will go through hell and back and still be able to instill belief of self in other people. And that for me is just like astounding. That for me is just like, how are you capable of that? How are you so magical? And I think like I love the hashtag, the movement, whatever it is, Black Girl Magic, because I feel like it really does embody the experience of Black women. We literally are magical beings. Like, everything is against us. We are at the bottom of the totem pole, and yet we still continue to prosper. The amount of Black women owned businesses that I've seen, the amount of Black women that I've seen make the best out of the worst situations for themselves, the amount of Black women that I've seen that continue to love and be kind and caring towards other people, even when the world is not that loving and kind and caring towards them. It's just astounding to me. And I think another thing, the reason why I wanted to put this video together is because, of course, with that idea of Black girl magic, I think there comes this idea that, like, as Black women, we always have to have our stuff together. There could never be an off day. There could never be an off moment. There could never be an off anything, because it's just like, no, you have to prove everybody wrong. You have to prove that you're not the angry Black woman. You have to prove that you are worthy of love. You have to prove that you are worthy of care and fragility and kindness and gentleness from other people. So we feel this pressure to always be magical. But I remember one of my favorite YouTubers, Bri Hall, she posted on her Instagram story, and I screenshotted it and saved it on my phone. And she was saying, "Dear Black girls, Black girl excellence and Black girl magic is meant to uplift us, but also know that there are times when you might not feel excellent or magical, and that is okay. That is absolutely fine. There are times where you just want to sit and rest. There are times where you don't feel like moving. You don't feel like being aware of the situation of Black people because it harms you mentally, physically, emotionally, and that is okay. I'm here to tell you that is okay. In case no one has told you, it is okay. It is okay to rest. It is okay to be tired. It is okay to not be magical. It's okay to not be excellent, because every other human being has the right to not always be excellent. Every other human being has the right to not always be magical. So we too have that right. And even if people don't say it to us, even if our own, because sometimes too I feel like, sorry, I'm going all over the place, but sometimes too I feel like our own men don't promote like us taking good care of ourselves. It's kind of like our men, Black men, kind of expect us to be their backbone and to not complain about our own stresses or our own burdens or things that are making us feel heavy or tired or exhausted. So I'm here to tell you, you are more than welcome. Is that the word? You are more than allowed to rest. You are more than allowed to feel heavy. You are more than allowed to not always have to be positive. That's okay. You're human. It's part of the experience. Like, we have our good days, we have our bad days, we have our good moments, we have our not so great moments, and that is okay. It's part of your experience. And you being told that you're strong, you're magical, you're excellent doesn't take away, it doesn't take away from any of that if you decide to take a break, if you decide to rest, if you decide to not be positive for 0.5 seconds, or even for a day or a week or a month. It is okay. You know what I mean? So I'm just here to say that, and just to remind y'all, when I say Black women are amazing, okay? You're a Black woman and you're amazing. You deserve anything good in this world. You deserve all the happiness, all the joy, all the love, all the care, all the protection. And even when people aren't giving you that, know that your God is gonna give you that, okay? And the reason why I'm saying your God is because, like I said, this is not religion specific. I personally believe in a God. Whatever you believe in, just know that you are not gonna be left out to hang and dry. All the things that you are wanting, you are wishing for, you want in your heart, you will be given it. And regardless of how the world treats you, you are worthy of all of the things that you want and more. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to have that chit chat. I know I kind of went
All around the world. We go all around the world.
Okay, I know I went all around the world and back, but I hope that my message was clear. I hope that you guys were able to understand what it was that I was trying to say. Just remember, regardless of what you're doing, regardless of who you are, where you are in life, whether you are doing as well as you want to do or not doing as well as you want to do, that you are magical in just your existence. You are excellent in just your existence. You don't have to do anything, say anything, be anything special in order to be worthy of goodness and kindness and care and love and protection. So that is all that I have for today. I really hope this was a good talk. I'm gonna have to rewatch this and just be so did that make sense? But I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I enjoyed putting it together. Inshallah, I will catch you guys in the next one. If you're not already, like I said, gently tap on that. Let me say it closer to y'all ear. If you like this content, gently tap on the like button. If you're not already, please click on that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that way you can be notified every single time that I post. And also leave me a comment down below because I'd love to hear from you. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and love. Bye bye.